Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chevlog Group's channel. I hope you all are having a good afternoon, morning, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. And thank you for joining me for this live, really important video, especially for people out there that are on OPT, optional practical training. It is super important that you're watching this right now, and I'm glad you're joining me. And if you're not here and you're watching this later, thank you for watching it because it's only going to help you. And please make sure to share this video with as many international students as possible so everybody has this information. The reason why I'm doing this live video is because the information just came out and I looked online to see if there was any information on it out to the public. And I noticed that there's really no information that's out there right now on this topic. So I was like, oh my gosh, people are out there and they don't even know this is happening, these poor OPT holding individuals, and you really need to know this information. So this is really hot off the press. It was a broadcast message that was sent out by SEVP, which is the Student and Exchange Visitor Program. And it was just released, and it's really important that we talk about it. Thank you again for joining me live. We'll get started in just a second, waiting for a few people to join in and join us today on the live broadcast. If any of you out there don't know who I am, my name is Andrea Chev, and welcome to my channel. I am the managing attorney at Chevlog Group in Los Angeles, California. I've been doing immigration for almost 20 years, believe it or not. And I put together lots and lots of videos on all types of immigration issues and topics and things that come up and tips and pointers. So if you haven't already subscribed, you want to subscribe right now. And don't forget to hit that bell so you're notified the next time a video comes out, which I'm releasing them at least once a week, if not more, because as you all are aware out there, if you're international individuals, that it is changing. Immigration laws and policies are changing every single day, all the time. And it's enough for me to keep it up, let alone all of you to keep it up. So I'm here to try to get you the information ASAP and clear and easy to understand so you don't fall into a situation that things become very bad and ugly on top of everything else going on in the world. Okay, so let's get into this topic regarding what's going on with individuals on OPT. Let's get a little bit of background on what OPT is, just in case any of you out there don't have any idea what OPT is and don't even know if you have OPT. So OPT is optional practical training that's given to students in certain programs that are here in the United States on certain types of visas, most likely an F1 visa, student visa. After you finish your studies or your program, you're given a period of time that you can work in the United States in the field that you studied in university or in whatever program you were here in. So it gives you an opportunity to kind of get into the field here for a very short period of time, usually a year or so, depending on what field you're in. And then you can either get a job and get sponsored for an actual work visa, or you have to leave the country, go home and get a job in the area that you study. So this optional practical training is a really great opportunity for a lot of students coming out of schools. But surprise, unfortunately, because of COVID and coronavirus and everything going on, a lot of people that got optional practical training, OPT, are now stuck without jobs. Or they got a job and then they were laid off from that job because of COVID and everything going on. So they're sitting here with their opportunity of OPT for a limited period of time, but they can't even use it. So what's happened is the actual program that controls this whole thing, the overarching agency, I should say, that runs or controls these programs is the SEVP, which is a Student Exchange Visitor Program. And all the schools involved in this record all the information of all the students around the country into a program called SEVIS. And SEVIS is a Student Exchange Visitor Information System. And it is a hawk. I mean, it really watches every single thing that a student does. If they don't show up for classes, if they have OPT, it's supposed to record, if you're on OPT, the employer that you're working for in that program. So if your DSO, which is your designated student official, does not put into SEVIS the employer that you're working for on your OPT, that is where this video is going to talk about the problems that are going to happen. Because what's happened now is that the SEVP put out this broadcast and said that we are going to go into the SEVIS program, and anybody who is on OPT that does not have a designated employer that they're working for in the system, and they haven't had one for 90 days or haven't been working for at least 90 days, they're going to mark it as terminated. So you will no longer have your OPT. Your work authorization will be gone, and you'll begin to violate, or you'll have violated your F1 status, causing you to have to leave. So it's super important that if you are working right now on OPT and you are employed, that you contact your DSO immediately and make sure that the SEVIS system has your employment information in there. Now, if you're not working, or you were working and now you're not working, you need to figure something out, because if they look into the system and it's been more than 90 days since an employer has been listed, and active employment has been listed in the SEVIS system, they are going to mark your account or you as terminated, and which that's going to now cause you to lose your work authorization and cause you to violate your F1 status and have to force you to leave the United States. So this is a really, really serious situation for a lot of people because of COVID-19 and what's going on with COVID-19, because a lot of people either had jobs, lost them, never got a job because their OPT fell right in the hands of when the whole coronavirus happened. So it was almost impossible to get a job. And people that were on a job and then were let go, and then they're stuck in a situation like they are now. So it is critical that you are aware of this, because you don't want any surprises. They're going to be sending out letters to all the students on OPT that are in the system to give you notice to go into the system to make sure that your information is there. So there is a little bit of a window here, but you want to make sure that if you are employed, for sure, call your DSO and make sure that the SEVIS is updated with that information. If you are not employed, you need to really try to get employment and get that into the actual system. If you've been unemployed for more than 90 days since you got your EAD card, because the 90 days begins from the date of your EAD card, your work authorization card, and today. So the 90-day begins on the date you get your EAD card. So if it's been more than 90 days and you have not been employed during that 90 days, you are in violation of your F1 status, and it will be terminated once they go into the system. Okay, one more just little note. If you were volunteering, that's a whole nother subject, and that's a possibility that you can use as long as there's proof that you're volunteering 20 hours a week in the area that you've studied, and that it does not violate any labor laws or anything like that, or any OPT rules and regulations. Okay, so if you're volunteering and not working for an actual salary, then that might work to cover that period of time, but be very careful. Okay, this is super important. I wanted to get out to all of you very quickly. It's not going to be a long, drawn-out live video. I just wanted to make sure that I got out the information and didn't wait to do a whole video and edit it and all that stuff and put it up. I wanted to get it out to you ASAP. So just to recap, if anyone's just joining me, recap quickly. The SEVIS system will be now looked at very closely by the SEVP, which is the Student Exchange Visitor Program. And they are going to look for anyone that is with OPT that does not have an employer listed in the SEVIS system. If it is not listed in the SEVIS system, then, and you have not worked for 90 days from authorization, then they will record it as terminated. And that in turn will cause you to violate your F1 status and cause you to have to leave the country. Okay, that does not mean, also be very careful, because a lot of you are thinking you could have applied, or you applied for unemployment during this period of time because you lost your job and you're on OPT. Be very careful, because if you apply for unemployment and you're past that 90 days, that employment does nothing for you. It doesn't give you any safeguards or safe harbor against what's going on. So you only had 90 days that you could not be working on your OPT once you got authorized. Okay, please be very careful out there, all of you. Please make sure you stay posted on my channel and on the news to make sure anything changes. And immediately, as soon as you get off this video, you want to contact your DSO and make sure that all the proper documentation is in the SEVIS system immediately, so you don't have to worry about it. You can go on with your life. And if you're not working, you need to either get a job as soon as possible, which is, I know, easier said than done, but you need to get a job as soon as possible and get into the system, or you need to start expecting that there's going to be consequences if they go and they see that, which they probably will, because SEVIS is very transparent. If they go in and they see that you haven't been working for 90 days and there's no employer listed, they will terminate your status as OPT, and you will lose your OPT, and you will violate your F1 status, and again, you'll be forced to leave. Okay, I know I'm repeating myself, but I want to make sure that everyone is clear and understands this, because there are thousands of you out there that are on OPT or expecting to start your OPT. And in this very difficult situation we're all in right now with SEVIS, with coronavirus and everything happening, then, it's putting us all in a very hard position to get employment to begin with, and to get employment at OPT is even harder. So please be careful. Stay tuned to our channel. Stay tuned to the news. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at Chevlaw Group. We're happy to help. And I hope all of you stay healthy and stay safe out there, and look forward to seeing you all in our next videos. Take care.